Hi, everybody. So, I figured through the course of the day, we've been talking so much about capital and money and allocation and funds. So, we thought we'll do something a little different, try and talk to you about a resilient India, a story of the entrepreneurial household. We're NMAS. NMAS is a company that was founded by the Elevar Partnership that is focused on accelerating the journey for the entrepreneurial household. I'll leave the rest for you to read online. We won't go into a spiel about what we do, who we are. You're all educated enough, so I'm not going to do what every other fund has been doing here all morning. With me is Viren. Hi, Viren.
Hi, Anish. Good afternoon, everyone.
So Viren is the former hockey team captain. He's an Arjuna awardee. He's played over 180 matches. Very interestingly, Viren watched his hero Dhanraj Pillai when he was 13 in a charity game of some sort. And 5 years later, Viren was playing in the same squad under Dhanraj. And with us is also Sri Harsha. And Sri Harsha is an inspiration, an MBA with a successful career with multiple banks. Sri Harsha met with an accident in 2013 that left him a quadriplegic with limited feeling in all his limbs. But ever the fighter, Sri Harsha decided to get back into sports. He won his World Cup gold in Paris in 2022 amongst a bunch of other medals. And he's the first Indian to secure his quota for the 2024 Paris Paralympics.
Hi. Hi, hello.
So we are hoping that this panel inspires you a little bit, challenges the standard notions and assumptions that people make about small town India. And Viren, let me start with you. What do you see as trends in this space about athletes emerging from big cities versus smaller cities, smaller towns?
Yeah, thanks, Anish. It's great to be here. I've been involved in sport very closely over the last 25 years, and honestly, in sport, actually, there's a big dichotomy in India, because if you look at my organization, OGQ, Olympic Gold Quest, it's a not-for-profit foundation started by two of India's sports legends, Geet Sethi and Prakash Padukone, with a very sharp mission to help Indian athletes win Olympic and Paralympic medals. We look after the best of the best young athletes in the country in Olympic and Paralympic sport. Very proud to say that in the last 3 Olympics, India has won a total of 15 Olympic medals, and the training of 9 of those 15 Olympic medal winners was looked after by OGQ. You're allowed to clap also. I know it's lunch and you'll have multiple panel sessions, but if you'll clap, we'll maybe keep the talk shorter. We currently look after the training of almost 400 of the best Olympic and Paralympic athletes. Many of these are young junior athletes in the age group of 11 to 19 years old. Out of all the 400 athletes we support, not a single one trains in Mumbai. 95% of the athletes come actually from small towns and villages. So the dichotomy is where the structure and the process and the money is in sport, the hunger and the talent and the fire and the desire is not there. And where actually the hunger and fire and desire and the talent is not there, the structure and the process and the funding is not there. And what organizations like OGQ have to do is ensure that we marry that together and we actually go out and find the best young talent and ensure they get the right support, the right funding at the right time. Just as an example of, and also how much inspiration a hero and role model can do. Just a quick show of hands. Who has heard of Mirabai Chanu, the weightlifter who won the Olympic silver medal? Okay, so excellent. Great to see that so many hands know about a sport like weightlifting. Mirabai Chanu was a weightlifter. She is a 49 kg weightlifter. So she's only 4 feet 11 inches tall. She hailed from a background so poor, from a village far away from Imphal, that growing up she used to lift firewood to earn a living. Tough girl coming from the mountains, she became a weightlifter. Her journey at the Olympics began with failure because at the Rio 2016 Olympics, Mirabai Chanu did not make a single successful lift. In her weight category, women's 49 kgs, you have to lift about 115 kilos in clean and jerk to challenge for an Olympic medal.
2.5 times.
That bar is so heavy, I'm 80 plus kilos, I cannot lift that bar 2 centimeters off the floor, because if I go to lift it, we'll get a back injury for the rest of our lives. You know, that's what they say, don't try this at home. That is one of the things that we should not try at home. In 2016, OGQ made the decision after the Rio failure to support Mirabai Chanu. And I remember I had, in December 2016, I had made the journey to Patiala, which was Mira's training base, to try and find out what went wrong at Rio. We had dinner with Mira and her coach. That dinner meeting turned into a 4-hour meeting. And Mirabai Chanu was sobbing on the table for 2 hours as she was telling us the story of what happened. She said that the mental pressure on her at Rio was so intense that when she went up on stage, she mentally totally blanked out and she forgot the process. And weightlifting is a process. If you forget that process, you will not lift crazy amounts of weights. From that, we realized that Mira is very talented, her coach is very talented, but the ecosystem around her was lacking. We ensured she had a very good psychologist to ensure she overcome the fear of failure that kept plaguing her.
So putting the infrastructure where she needed
We ensured she had a nutritionist, because we had to keep her weight and yet have the explosive strength to lift 115 kilos. A physiotherapist, because I'm a hockey player, we look after boxers, wrestlers, but I've not seen the kind of injuries that happen to weightlifters. In the last 3 months in the lead up to Rio, Mira had a back injury, a neck injury, a shoulder injury, and a thigh injury. And each time we thought, oh gosh, it's over, 5 years of effort gone down the drain. But they say that Olympic champions are made out of something else. And that was Mirabai Chanu. That young girl fought, pushed the pain barrier, and finally, 24th July 2021, first day of competition of Tokyo, Mirabai Chanu finally successfully lifted 115 kilos and won the Olympic silver medal.
To that?
I cried buckets of tears. Sorry, I'll just finish. I just want to add one element to the story. 3 months after the Tokyo Olympics, they had the weightlifting national championship. The number of girls that participated quadrupled just because of a hero and role model like Mirabai Chanu. Today, if you go to Manipur, every academy is filled with young girls who dream of becoming the next Mirabai Chanu.
Talks about the aspiration, right? To that, because Shreyarsha, you are from a small town. You gave up a job in Bangalore to go work in the small town, and then you had your accident. But then when we spoke, you also mentioned sports was always part of your life. You were a state badminton player before, and then after the accident, you chose to again come back to sports. Why sports?
Sports is something like, I feel it's equivalent to God. It accepts whoever you are, however you are, whenever you are in difficulty or happiness. And what happens is, in my background was, both my parents were in education background. One of my father was a principal and mother was a teacher. And always the focus was on grades, scores, tests, all those things. And I physically and mentally was very much, so much inclined towards sports. Then I kept my dedication, timing, the system which is required, the systematic approach which is required for sports. And I used to always see the rank student who used to study early in the mornings, late in the evenings, eat correct food, maintain his health to prepare for the exam. More than that, I was doing on my sports ground. And when I bought a medal to home, and I used to tell my mom that he has got a first rank, but he doesn't have this medal. That kind of thing which kept on inspiring me, motivated. I was a self-motivated guy at that time, because whatever efforts we put, these schemes like Khelo India or OGQ were not there at those times. We had to put in lot of efforts till the final exams, and only grade used to decide our future, if I am going to play or no. Because my dedication was towards sports. Like I kept my dedication on par with any rank student, and that gave me a lot of happiness, to be a sportsman and to carry forward.
Also, Shreyasha, I wanted to ask you, when you moved back from Bangalore to Hubli, when you were working with a bank, why did you take that decision before your accident?
Yeah. Before my accident, I was working with a financial institution called City Financial Wealth Management, and also with ICICI Prudential. What I felt is the time I spent there in a metro city and the reward what I am getting is slower compared to the competition which is there. And if I put in the same time and dedication and efforts in my hometown, which is Hubli or Belgaum or Davangere, those upcountry north, then my growth is much faster, which I also experienced in the next 3 years, which I worked with City Financial, Bajaj Allianz, and other advertising company, wherein the time in 3 years, just to tell you, I went to abroad tours from the company, and I got married, I took my first single bedroom house and all that. So just in 3 years, I felt the time I am putting here, the effort I am putting here, and the reward I am getting is much more than what I could have got in the city. So I
that's
moved
pretty
back.
awesome. For you, Viren, in the last few years, in the last 15 years, you've been playing for a while, you've been with OGQ for a while. What is the change in infrastructure that you're seeing in smaller India versus the big cities?
I think huge. I retired from playing hockey way back in 2007. When I retired, there were 30 AstroTurf hockey pitches in the country.
30.
30. Today, there are over 300 AstroTurf grounds in India. I checked with a few of my friends actually this morning. In Odisha, there are 36 AstroTurf grounds. In Sundargarh district itself, there are 17 blocks. Each block has an AstroTurf ground. In Punjab, there are over 30 AstroTurf grounds. In MP today, there are over 30 AstroTurf grounds. In Haryana, there were over 25 AstroTurf grounds. When we started supporting Saina and Sindhu in 2009, Sindhu was only 13 years old that time. There were 30 badminton courts in Hyderabad, similar number in Bangalore. Today, anecdotal evidence says that there are over 7,000 badminton courts in Bangalore itself. So just shows the impact of a hero and role model like Saina and Sindhu and how much infrastructure.
Also because there is demand for that infrastructure.
Absolute demand. If you look at the in Odisha, the Naveen Patnaik government is doing an amazing job in development of sport across the country. The bureaucrats are absolutely brilliant. The people who are the director of sports, secretary sports in the ministry, etc. In Bangalore, you see the number of job opportunities, actually the number of former players who are now turned coaches. Every court is full from 6 in the morning till 10 at night. So I think the infrastructure is creating a lot of job opportunities across the board as well. And I want to narrate the story of a boxer named Lovelina Borgohain. In 2012, when the legendary Mary Kom won a boxing bronze medal at the London Olympics, Mary is such a hero and role model. There was a 13-year-old girl watching in a small village in Golaghat district of Assam. That 13-year-old girl was Lovelina Borgohain, and she told me that she watched it on the village TV because they didn't have a TV in her village in every household. And she dreamt of becoming a boxer. We started supporting her when she was 17 years old. Lovelina Borgohain went on to win two World Championship medals and then an Olympic bronze medal herself at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. On the day Lovelina Borgohain won the Olympic bronze medal, the local government, only then they created a Pakka road that went to her village. Until that time, there was not even a Pakka road that goes to her village. So I hope that it doesn't take athletes winning Olympic medals to actually
get roads and
create. So there's so much more still to do.
To Sriharsha, I just want to ask one question. In the time that you've spent in Hubli, and it's almost now 20 years, what is the change in infrastructure that you have seen personally and medically?
Yeah. I met with a spinal cord injury accident which ended up in 2013, February. From that time, if I can see that right now, the medically, the physiotherapy, the treatment which a spinal cord injury patient should receive has improved, but not at that pace which is expected as compared to a metro place. We were guided to go to a metro place like Mumbai or Chennai or Delhi, but we could not because of the financial issues, or we could not dare enough to go. But now the doctors are traveling to Hubli now and then, every fortnight or every weekends, because we have an airport there. Then the patients or the treatment is much better, but it should, I feel, should still speed up more.
There is more demand and there is more.
There is more demand. Most of them, I ended up as a sportsman because my parents aspired a sportsman in me. They saw a sportsman in me. So after my fall, I lost my salary. My wife left her job to take care of me. But my parents said, okay, we know how a sportsman you were in your past. And we definitely know now also you will put in your time perfectly into what you are doing and make it positive. We know who you are. And they bought a rifle for me for the first time, which costed 1,90,000. My mother herself, without any financial assistance, they are both retired. That is how I started improving, but that's my story. But many of the other people who have met with accidents, with spinal cord injury, right now I see them, they are meager working as a clerks, they are meagerly working as some small shopkeeper, somewhere sitting in, he can't move around much and he can't do more. So they say you are lucky to go for Paralympics, play at a national level, international level. We are not so lucky as you. I don't know.
But there is the aspiration to do more. Everybody wants to do more.
Yes. It should not be by a success story by luck. It has to be a success story by putting in a support system. It should not be by luck anymore, is what I feel.
Viren, I'm mindful of the red in front of us. Do you want to leave us with a passing thought, after which I'll go to Sriharsha?
I fulfilled many of my dreams. I played for India, captained the Indian hockey team, played at the Olympics. But my one dream to win an Olympic medal myself, that remained unfulfilled. In the Tokyo Olympics, I think the most inspirational moment was about a team that did not win a medal. That was the Indian women's hockey team. They came fourth. They just missed out on the Olympic medal. 10 of those players come from small villages in Haryana. They tell me that growing up, they were not allowed to have a mobile phone. They were not allowed to wear jeans. They are not allowed to marry someone of their choice. And in the quarterfinals of the Tokyo Olympics, when they beat Australia, world number 1, unbeaten in the Olympics, and I saw them celebrating, I just thought to myself, how much of a hope and dream that gives young girls and maybe young boys all across the country. Because I think sport has that power to give a hope and dream to kids, and that the power of that hope is, it's hard to measure that. And that is the most important for the millions of young kids in villages and small towns across the country.
And Sriharsha, any last passing thought?
Yeah. The thing is, sports is always welcoming. the right dedication is always put in, the hard work is put in by many of the athletes, as Viren said, from the tier 2 cities like Hubli, Dharwad, or upcountry, Karnataka, as I have seen. But the thing is, they don't have the proper, the support structure, what I call is as a qualified coach, updated qualified coach, not a qualified coach who was a coach past some decades back, We wanted an updated, technically knowledgeable coach, the physiotherapists, the sports nutritionists, the sports psychologists, and the upgraded equipments. Because what happens is, I see the equally injured athletes coming to be sportsmen like me after a spinal cord injury, but in the initial first 2-3 years, I don't say they waste their time, but what happens is the time gets wasted just in trying to search who is there to coach me. From where should I get the proper energy, the knowledge, and the coach, the technically, who can coach me. That is where the initial struggle, the energy gets lost. That is where the inspiration, self-motivation becomes down. That is when the parents say, it's enough, come back to work, earn something for the home, and sports is not going to earn you any money. So that is where, in these areas, where the energy and the potential is so high, that the hard work is very intense and very pure. If I have to say, it's very, hunger is so high, that if you put in the right,
the right
system, the right support system, or the right information stream, at least, information.
No, I think goes back to what Viren said.
Growth. There is a lot of growth which is
goes back to Viren, what Viren said. I think where there is hunger, there isn't enough capital, and where there is the capital, there isn't enough hunger, maybe. I think we'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
I just want to acknowledge Shobha, who's Sri Harsha's wife. Shobha looks after Sri Harsha 24/7, has sacrificed so much. So thank you, Shobha, as well. Thank you.